welcome to this episode of Ask Me Anything or Say Something Funny. Definitely February. Probably. That's right. As well as Spider Cat, where we are having fun in the sun. Tonight we're asking us anything or saying something funny, which is a chance for our supporters will have the chance to, of course, ask us anything or give their best one-liner. Is this on? You can send them via boom. Send them via Super Chats, Shadow Membership, Twitch subscribership, or Patreon support. Though every subscriber and viewer is welcome to join in on the fun, so won't you join James W. and myself, Amy Newman, for a good time that is probably February. Probably. Yeah, definitely. What is up, Misfits? That's right. We are here tonight on Ask Us Anything or Say Something Funny. Definitely February. Some assembly. May acquired. If you enjoy the channel, the show, whatever is going on here, well, it does help get out into the algorithms when you follow on Twitch, and what does it even mean to subscribe on YouTube? Where you're kind of bookmarking it, but then when you hit that bell icon, what's that?
Amy, since I just figure since we don't even believe in biology, right? We can just identify this as February, and it has to be, right?
That's true. We don't understand biology on a fundamental level. We just think that every day we wake up and we read our chromosomes and we're like, what clothing should I wear today?
I don't like that, so I'm just going to pretend it's something else, right? There you go.
Yes.
That's what we do, right? So,
of course, when we ask them any questions that have to deal with biology, like, hey, did any woman come from a man's rib? They're like, well, what really is a biologist anyway? We're like, okay.
Yeah, March sucks. Who wants to be in March?
Well, we're sending love to the future because this month may get too jam-packed. Ask us anything. However, we are sending love in there to so many people. What is up, Aaron Coalson? Woohoo! What is up, Secular Pagan Mom? What is up, Jason Jacoby? And sincerely yours. Woo! And that's right. When you subscribe, it gives you access to that bell icon, which tells YouTube, I don't just like it, I really like it and want to see it on my feed. I want to see reminders and have a dance party. Like, hey,
they'll promote our channel to more people, and then more people get to see us.
We get to spread skepticism and critical thinking, which as much as I wish that people would become atheist, agnostic, whatever the hell, I really just want people to be skeptic.
Speaking of the skeptic.
That's right. We have our first of the night. We are sending so much love. Praise I Am That I Am starts us off. I think. Wait. No, that's Big Bad Mama.
Yeah, it's one of Ken Hogan's followers, isn't it?
That's right. I think so.
Live from Dinosaur Adventureland.
We are sending love. It's so funny. He has to hang on there now because he doesn't have a channel. So it's almost like he needs to go towards other Christian for as long as any of those random. Dude, sending so much love to Big Bad Mama. A $2 super chat. Abstinence makes the church grow fondlers. Yeah, it really does. As Bill Burr would say, it kind of makes churches pass them around like they're at SeaWorld. They bite a kid, and so they're like, well, we can't get rid of the whale. We'll just send him up to Boston. Bit someone in Florida, no one will know the difference. And, religion, everyone. Thank you so much, Big Bad Mama. Yeah. Maybe if they weren't so sexually repressed, all of those crimes
would
have gone on. It's the little things, James. It's those tiny little things. But thank you so much, Big Bad Mama, for support.
Some of them, it's not so much that they're repressed. It's just they just choose to be degenerates and deviants.
Sure. Well, it is a mixture of repression, and then I'm sure there's some people that just use power to,
like, for example, the one we were talking about before last stream, Muhammad. He didn't just have 9-year-old wives. He had like dozens of other wives, so it wasn't exclusive.
That was
with
his
kids.
favorite wife.
He just couldn't help adding one on. I mean, he had plenty of other women he could have been with, but he wanted Aisha.
9-year-old. But we often get James. That's modernism. She was probably like 12. So
maybe.
Religion. If you'll notice a common theme tonight and of this channel, it's that we may not really like religion. Now listen, religious people can often be nice, especially when they're not fundamentalists. We have like many pagans that come on here and are rational skeptics. It's just something about this Abrahamic religion. The Goat Herder's Guide to the Galaxy and the trilogy of which doesn't seem to work well for humanity.
No.
But
not at all.
We have another, which we are sending so much love. This is Ask Us Anything and Say Something Funny. $10 super chat from the Sinister Porpoise.
Very sinister tonight.
Once again, yes, when you want to think of porpoises, you think of a very sinister porpoise.
Very extremely sinister.
Thank you for helping me recover brain cells after watching an old LPP stream for an hour and a half. I hope logical, plausible, probable is well. Haven't seen him in a while. Yeah, have you seen him going off in your feeds?
He hasn't done a stream in like 3 months, and then in the past year, he's only done a handful of streams. Big Bad Mama was saying something about he fell in love, but I always thought he was married. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought so too, but it is hard because a lot of these people I'm not personally subscribed to as a personal choice because I don't want to support them. Not that LPP is a bad guy. It's just, you know, we're McDonald's and they are trying to sell superstition. It's slightly different marketing plan. And so
what's that movie where they were selling the poison burgers that are making people crazy?
I'm not sure. All I have to mind is Soylent Green.
Drugs
that's
in the
something
burgers.
very different.
Yeah. But well, I mean, you know, LPP, he's taken such a beating from people like Gutsick Gibbon and other people who have just repeatedly pounded him hard for so long that, I mean, that veneer, that smugness, that like, oh yes, I'm so much smarter than everybody else. might take a lot to actually put that face on and go up and then get your ass kicked intellectually over and over again. Maybe he just can't bring himself to do it very often.
It must suck to go up against people in the field. Like, we don't often do that. Among atheists, we often get in debates about politics and stuff like that. But it's like a biologist versus Fred. A geologist against Sarah.
I realize all the biologists say that what I'm saying is not true, but I think I will be vindicated in the end.
Yes.
Because
God will find a way. Jesus will take the wheel in the lab.
Evolution it will be disproven any day now. It's gonna be disproven.
Yes. They worship time, but time will eventually be on our side.
He was excellent. He was one of the best word salad connoisseurs at the time, sounding extremely technically. I mean, very, very, very technically sounding. Like
that is the whole goal. Is that we want to convey information, and they want to sound technical.
Going through college level textbooks or scientific papers and just picking out any words you see that sounds really technical, and then just making word salads out of them.
Or like
whether it actually means anything or not is immaterial, because 90% of people won't even understand what the hell you're trying to talk about anyway.
Well, I've had people...
That's it. Gibbon destroyed SFT last night. Where was that at?
Was that
I was working last night.
I'll say many lovely debates going on. We just had a promo for a old debate from 2 years ago, which James reminded me, and I just realized is ultimated. Like, this is a debate that his name is Philip, and he went by Philip, so I'm not doxing him. And so the does astronomy prove God we're going through an ACAing. I'm not sure what really the term is. We're making clips. It's been fun, actually, to go back and reorganize everything, setting up timestamps and making it nice and clean for people who want to go back and watch content, and then taking that and making clips from it. But yes, I will say, welcome everyone to Ask Us Anything or Say Something Funny, the show where it's a giant housekeeping. We are just going to be talking about nonsense and
random
irreverence. And yes, basically taking pot shots at apologetics and whatever's on our
extra
minds.
Blasphemy, because, you know, we have to say something about that last stream, Amy. That like, oh, you guys just said a blasphemy, like, clutching
Jesus.
my pearls. Oh, the blasphemy!
Can I say,
I can't take the blasphemy.
He seemed like a nice guy, which kills me. But like, yes, they crumble so terribly. If you'd like a little bit of context,
it offends me so much. So offends me. I mean, you gotta have a little bit. You gotta have a little thick skin to get in this debate community, because we're the cuddly, soft version of it, but it gets brutal.
Now, this gentleman joined from Twitch. If you don't know what our Twitch is, twitch.tv/ABNewmanSkeptic. And he was a Calvinist. And right away, I offended him because I made, if I may say, this is my Chris Rock alopecia joke. I said, we need to be on our knees for the glory of God, something like that. And
then I said, oh yes, praise the Holy Spirit. We praise him.
And that was too much.
Those two blasphemies triggered him.
And saying that if he's going to be on a stream of blasphemers, then he'll just leave. And which it was like, hoo, hoo, hoo. I mean, That's kind of what
Thank you, Rubiks.
name the game. And yes, sending love also to It's a Rubik's Cubed, to our Twitch stream, and sending love to Pat. What is up, Pat?
That's right, the freak. You hear the word Calvinist, that's like a trigger word.
We are going to be sending hi to everybody. We'll be talking about everything that you say in chat, but I want to send extra special love one more time to the Sinister Porpoise.
Thanks so much, Sinister.
And Big Band Mama, because this show is, sponsored by Brando. It's what plants crave. This show is a love letter to our Patreons. The best way to help us, the best way to support us, by going to patreon.com/Amy Newman, as well as our channel members with our evolving badge system right down below. And so if you would like to see your comment on screen interacted with, made a little bit silly, tee-hee-hee, and keep on sending those super chats, or just tag us if you are a super chat, if you're a channel member or you're a Patreon. What's up, Khaleesi? Now, if you got a good whiskey, here's a good time. We were sending love to student Dr. Ben, who I was on there for a good hour or more. We were doing a fundraiser, eating hot dogs for Ben's chest surgery. Might as well trigger as many fundies as we can because we want to support our LGBTQ sisters and brothers. And
oh my God, they're doing mastectomies on little girls. Ah!
Yes, well, that is the thing. They think that they're doing surgery on kids, which is ridiculous. And what is happening is that as we kind of win those culture wars, the religious kind of lose. We get gay marriage. We get transgenders in the military. They have to create entirely made-up problems that don't exist, like drag queen story hour. And
we've had gay marriage for several years now, and I haven't seen anybody try to marry their goat or anything like that. So
James, are you saying men aren't coming door to door forcing themselves to marry you because gay marriage is in fact legal?
Yeah, nobody's saying, oh well, if two men can get married or two women can get married, then I should be able to marry a squirrel.
See, it goes right from gay marriage to squirrel marriage.
Right.
What's up, Michael Smith? What's up, Krish? We are asking us anything or saying something funny. You'd be my sister wife? Yes, on collab. Mormon. Dum. I couldn't help but the South Park episode. That episode, I think, also plays a lot. Or maybe I'm just biased towards smart. We'll start to give out shout outs in a second. And we're having fun. We're asking us anything or say something funny. Another way to get our attention is if you're a young earth creationist or a flurf.
Bubblegum gun.
Bubblegum should already be on everyone's ignore. Bubblegum has a special place in my heart just because of what a ridiculous position that he's in. Because just talking about how we're debating, most of these guys have to debate academics. It's like you are the guy who believes in gnomes. You believe that
you're not even
best... What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say he's not even a Christian, but
yes,
like he tries to suck Ken Hoven's dick. He's always like praising Ken Hoven.
Hard to do under that Hawaiian t-shirt, but he also supports the best most highly technical scientific instrument out there, which is a Ouija board. I should also post this stream in the Discords. Maybe do some baiting, some master debating.
When Amy and Rachel play with the Ouija board, shit gets real.
I agree. So I'm just posting this debate creationist. Don't mind me. It'll do. Come, young earthers. Come, flat earthers. We don't bite unless you're into that. Guy I see you who always consistently hates evolution. But we are asking us anything or saying something funny. We are definitely in February. I think so. Is it February? Probably.
We identified as February.
We identify as February. That's true.
Pat says that's a very harsh light, a very aggressive light.
I know. So it's funny, of all the things, of all the problems, I've recently got a light that I'm going to be putting hopefully behind here. I don't know how to fix this because brighter, not brighter, it doesn't. I don't know what's going on. This started happening about an hour ago.
It's like the light from heaven shining down on her. Jesus is revealing her to us.
Yes.
To us.
But I will show you, because of the Patreons like you.
You edited P-Town's new video, Big Bad Mama.
So hopefully you will see this in action next stream. Mostly also because Will Stewart was like, hey, I'm like, why? I have a 4K camera. Why does my camera still look like it's being run through a VHS tape? And the answer was lighting. So I'll have a 3-point lighting setup coming to a podcast.
Oh, get with Steve. Get with Steve on that. He handles all our technical stuff. Oh, Big Bad Mama's always doing charity work. Paytown. Yeah.
Sorry, ladies and gents, technical difficulties. It is harsh. I apologize. And James saw me fiddling with it before, but I couldn't figure it out.
We'll get it fixed for next time.
Yes. Well, like I switch over the other lights, you don't even use these lights. These are the what's-it-called lights. And so... boom, 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 boom. Exactly. Something shiny and new. And because of you guys and gals. Basically all of this. When you see these graphics, when you see all the props and all the joyousness that comes along Romeo and Juliet. Yes. All of the love. The lots of love.
I don't know if you guys remember, probably not, but this coming Wednesday, I have a debate on SFT, on evolution, creation versus evolution. Versus, it's actually versus a parrot who lived in Dinosaur Adventureland for 5 years, and then he flew away. And, yeah, he just, parrots everything Ken Hoven says, but it'll be fun.
He's like the Wish version of Kent Hoven.
Yeah.
But I just want to remind everyone that is a young Earth creationist out there that your God does not exist. And so you should tell us that he does in chat.
No, he totally does, yeah.
What's up, Gizmo? Big.
I saw a video a few days ago on a it's like a documentary channel. They do like religious documentary. I mean, sometimes some of their stuff is actually a little interesting. I mean, from an internal critique standpoint or a history standpoint, they uploaded this video about like scientists beginning to doubt evolution, and I mean these
They do
people
that
really,
video
really
every 6 months.
They really get the most out of these videos. This is like a video made in like 2005 or something like that, and they just put it out again every 6 months, and then their creation is just gobbled up like it's new material. Literally every claim that they make has been thoroughly refuted over and over again. They're just restating the same claims over and over and over again. Like, yeah, oh, Michael Behe again. Yes. I'll talk about irreducible complexity. Yeah. Doesn't work. Sorry. 6 months later. But, Amy, have you heard about Michael Behe and irreducible complexity?
It is irreducibly complex. What is irreducibly complex? How silly this argument is. It's irreducibly complex.
Well, Amy, you have to tell me how each and every feature on each and every animal evolve. Otherwise, I do not believe evolution.
Yes, you have to explain why this sperm has a tail. Well, if you rub long enough. No, the bacteria flagellum, which is similar to the sperm, it can be used in many different methods. It has
ways. They have the tail to make it easier for Amy to guzzle them down.
Yes, exactly. But they can be used as a method of injection. So they don't have to have any form of movement. They can be stiff to keep on making a phallic reference. And you then can have a bacteria inject DNA. You can have all sorts of ways that a body part may be something different, or an organ may be something different, with less genomes, more genomes. Also, sending love to Big Bad Mama said she edited P-Town's latest video. P-Town's a nice guy. I feel bad for him because I feel like he's in a rock and a hard place. I remember hearing, and I haven't seen, I need to go say hi to Brett. Brett probably feels a little bit better, actually, after getting all that weight off his back. But, like, P-Town has, like...
Is he a Christian again?
I don't know if he's a Christian, but Brett is definitely not focusing, I think, on religion anymore. Which, well, not the main. He changed it from God TV Radio to the Brett Keane Show, which I think is a smart idea. And I think you might as well go what you're interested into instead of giving credit to someone else. And I just hear sadness in P-Town's voice that I used to hear in Brett's. Like, every time, and it goes back and forth. Sometimes he gets a little feisty, but sometimes, like, he'll join, like, a stream with, like, a whole bunch of atheists, and he'll be like, here I am. I'm going to evangelicalize and I guess defend my faith. And he just sounds so defeated and so
getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, and it's like the beginning of the conversation. It's not like even like he's been there for a while. He's just like, all right, he's just like wrapping himself up. Hit me.
He's handing him the empty liquor bottle, turning his head.
A little bit.
Do it.
And,
knock me out.
And I'm sending love, P-Town. If you think I have you wrong, but I'm sending love to all the people in chat who are making me laugh. We are asking us anything or say something funny. Keep on tagging James W. and myself, Amy Newman in chat. We'll read your question, comment, one-liner on screen. We're looking to send love to all of our Patreons, all of our channel members, all of our super chatters, but of course, all the people that are just hanging with us. Because this episode is definitely taking place in February. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
right?
I see why you think that way, Pat. I see why you get that. He does seem a little disingenuous sometimes. His argumentation.
Pat is a channel member, so we are gonna put that up there. Yeah, I mean, that's the hard part with young Earth creationism, is it is inherently childlike. Like every aspect of it. 6,000-year-old Earth, the riding dinosaurs.
I mean,
rib women, talking snakes, burning bushes.
I mean, he pretty much comes out and tells you that only reason he converted is because he fell in love with a woman who was a Christian. And it seems like he had to make a choice between the woman he loved or reason and common sense, and he chose love. And said,
argument a la pussy?
Yeah, well, if you remember, he was saying, like, he's like, oh, you know, like the last conversation we had about it before I converted. And then she's like, oh, well, you know, if you want it to make sense, if you want it to be understandable, I can never do that to you. It's never going to make sense. It's never going to be understandable. And you say, oh, okay, well, I guess then it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be coherent. You just believe it anyway.
You just got to believe.
You know?
Don't stop. Actually, no, please stop believing, if you don't mind. Until you have evidence. But send in love, Pat. Send love everyone out in there.
I mean, if you think that's a good way to make decisions and to choose things, if you want to say that, well, choosing to believe a particular worldview based on love or these other external factors that are not related to whether something's correct or true or not, well, you set yourself up for disaster.
James Wolfe says, would I sacrifice my intellectual honesty for love? Perhaps. And actually, I did want to originally sing it like, would I sacrifice my intellectual honesty for love? Perhaps. Also, it very much depends on which head is in control when it comes to guys. And so we are going to just put that out there. I mean, hey, that is a common theme, okay? We at least understand. It's just I could not actually convince myself that someone was watching me 24/7, 365 for a partner. Maybe I could say it like for a good day or so. But my Lord, I'm a shitty liar, and it's one thing to actually become convinced. Like, you've got to be an atheist for bad reasons. That if you're that easily swayed by the vajayjay epistemology or the PP epistemology if you're into that, whatever you're into.
Or Kalam.
Yes. Or
to say
Kalam.
you're an atheist content creator, you have an atheist channel on YouTube, and then
You're
the
super
Muslim guy
empathetic.
basically come up to you and you say, "Hey, but have you ever considered why is there something rather than nothing?" And I never considered that before.
James, everything needs a cause.
Whoa, I never considered that before. Mind blown. I guess I have to go with the religion. I guess I have
can't
to go with
eat bacon anymore.
Yeah,
It
I have to wear
floats.
this uniform with Arabic writing on a hat.
That
because
is
I'm
what
super
kills me.
Muslim now.
Just watching him sit there next to 5 born Muslims who are like wearing Adidas t-shirts. And they're like, yeah, and he's just sitting there with like the beard and the robes and the shaved head.
Allah hat on his head.
The hat and everything. It's just, that's definitely not a cult. You didn't like completely jump into a different change of lifestyle. And then they will say, well, you're LGBTQ. That's a cult. Oh, really? Who's our leader? And if it's Ellen DeGeneres, then I vote no. But so much love. James Wolfe says,
it's a way
glad I didn't have to. My wife is far smarter than me. That's how it sometimes works, I will say, admittedly. Not that you're not a genius, James. I'm just sending love to all of our better halves out there.
George Takei is the LGBT Pope.
Oh my.
No, but Ian McKellen or Gandalf.
You can tell yourself you believe for that V, if you know what I mean, even if you're not truly convinced. Oh, yes. And so that's what I want to get, though. Like, but he is more than just like, no, honey, I swear I love Jesus. Like, he's I don't want to say an apologist. I mean, I guess, YouTuber James
Activist.
W. and YouTuber Amy Newman. But yes, he is at least going out and professing and evangelicalizing, and you rationalize it, tell yourself it's a good life. Now that it could be like that. It could be, oh no, I really do think, no, God, no, really, yeah, God. Oh. But I don't know. I could definitely like putting your cards forward and being like, no, I really believe in. What religion were you? Oh no, that was the one true God I really thought of. What denomination were you? Oh my God, what a coincidence. That was the one I think from this moment forward. It's just, yeah. Do you believe for good reasons, ladies and gentlemen?
Maybe it's just me being a stick in the mud. Maybe it's just me being contrarian. But I remember this is like going 8 years ago.
What's up, secular pagan?
I was saying why do I get updates on Ellen DeGeneres in my feed? Why is she popping up in the news so often? Why is she anybody that they think I need to hear about? And then people are like, oh, she's just this amazing, wonderful person. She's this, she's that. Is she really? I don't.
What's up, Tim? And yeah, it turns out, well, that is the people that cultivate. That's why I like to just put forward that I am a chaotic being. Because the people who try to market themselves as perfect, generally speaking, don't buy the pudding pops, James. Don't buy the pudding pops. Or buy any drinks around anyone selling pudding pops. Hasn't been as much joke thievery, though. Who knows? I haven't been. It used to be. There's also those big. I'm not a joke, man. I don't steal jokes. And then who was the other? Oh my God, he had like spiky hair. Dane Cook. He always goes like this. I have only mannerism impressions. You know, Dave Chappelle giving you good advice. I don't know. Wait, no. If I'm holding it, I'm holding the mic. There we go. He's telling you something.
The freak canceled, yeah.
The freak
canceled. The freak.
Ooh, Smoocher's back secular. What is up, Tsunami? And yes, well, that's the thing. She was mean. And if you cultivate an image as trying to be like, hey, I guess not many people would be surprised if Anthony Jeselnik was mean. Even though he's probably a sweet guy. That's the thing. That's the other dichotomy. Sometimes the people that go so hard into really raunchy or dark comedy are oftentimes very sweet and modest. The cool crowd. Yes, I like to think of ourselves as the people who turn the hat backwards. But we are also asking us anything or say something funny. We'll answer everyone's questions, and we're talking to everyone, all our subscribers and viewers. You are the lifeblood. Though this channel is a love letter to our Patreons, the best way to help us, because it gets through all the rigmarole, gets right to us at patreon.com/AmyNewman.
Yeah.
What's Rejo saying?
Trying to keep up with multiple streams.
Yes, I feel bad. There are multiple. I don't normally. I will say send love to Gur. I think Gur is on stream. Who I don't normally. We try very hard. I don't want to modern day debate with streaming. I don't like to stream with modern day debate streams. I don't like to stream with other atheist
it's a Mark Reid debate.
And it's a Mark Reid. Mark Reid is our brother from another mother. He's our up and coming. We're gonna keep on. I feel like we've been putting water on a plant that is now coming into like a beast of a fruition, because Mark originally was like, I don't know if I want to YouTube, and we're like,
he'll do a little bit. Maybe I'll do a little bit. Now he's streaming all the time.
And now he's growing. And so, and the weird thing about the skeptic community is when one of us wins, we all win. And so if it's not like a Catholic stream is trying to outdo a Protestant, or a Shia is trying to outdo a Sunni, we're all in this. We're all just trying to get people to be critical thinkers. And so, yes, this is our early love letter, because I'll tell you why this is also. I think James has to do something, and I'll tell you why. At least I know I am going to be up early, because I am going to be on Randolph Richards' stream tomorrow on tacos. And so James is working early, and I am as well, because I will be on streaming and listening.
These streams are typically, this is one of our shorter podcasts because it doesn't have an open mic, so they're usually like an hour and a half or so, give or take.
Yeah. Because we're just sending love like to grumpy old Cuss. I don't get a chance not to stream of opposite of other creators. Sigh. It's okay, Grumpy. I still think you're one of the cool kids. When I say cool kids, it makes me think of Cool Kids Club, which makes me think of Will, which makes me think of him taking pot shots at another content creator who James knows that I've been ragging on a lot lately. I can't help it. I really, when people buy subs, it just annoys me to no end. I'm okay if you're into financial domination and you buy subs that way. I'm into sex work, and if you buy a submissive that way. But like
you just go buy like a nice Italian sub.
Or if you just want a hoagie and you really want a nice sub, you want a well-rounded meal. But I am with the Tio. This is the rare time I'm a bootlicker.
Oil vinegar.
Don't buy subs. Get it. Earn every one of your community members, they're your extended family. And so I really don't get it. Like, ooh, like you go home on Thanksgiving and you're like, hey, Ma, let me make a fake number. So I got 20,000 subscribers. Oh, wow, that's great, honey. How'd you do it? Well, I went to www.subscribers.com.
I bought 18,000 of them.
I bought 18,000. Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. You must put in all that hard work. And let me tell you, it'll catch up with you. Because it's not just me. James and I, we're just two schmucks.
Even Ken was like, after they closed out his account, he's like, well, we have to spend $2,000 more to buy all our subscribers back.
Well, he put the cat out of the bag. He did he said the quiet thing out loud. I don't think he knew. I think sometimes when you just do so many shady, terrible things,
yeah,
it's hard
honestly,
to juggle.
Buying subscribers is probably like low on the list of most fucked up things he's done in the past month.
Exactly.
I mean, you've got he runs a theme park, which is basically like sex offender fantasy island, you know.
I know.
But
James, they want to protect women and children. Don't you understand?
Bussing the sex offenders in, you know, to see the kids.
In the name of the family values, James. And said in love, Michael Smith. I know.
I don't believe he was, even though he's been convicted like 7 times. I think he's been set up. I think he's innocent.
Another thing, can we just keep on saying thank you so much, Grumpy? It is a newbie move to put your bank, because the moment that you get monetized, the moment you have 1,000 subscribers, your subscriber count actually doesn't matter that much. It's views. Now, what they will tell you is more subscribers helps you get more views, but that's only if they are real subscribers. And so fake subscribers does not translate.
You know, at that point,
I mean, it will catch up with you. Again, I feel like I am. This is the most bootlicker I'm gonna be, but they'll always find out because they're gonna feel cheated. Like you can do a lot of crazy stuff. You can just think that these atheists, we're all just schmucks. But if you try to cheat YouTube out of money, which is what you're doing when you are trying to get fake everything, they gotta come for you.
Just imagine if, you know, if you've got 12,000 subscribers and you can draw like 15 people to a stream when we have 1,300 subscribers and we often hit in the 30 to 40 range per stream. So, I mean, it's kind of embarrassing if you've got that many subscribers, but none of them want to watch your content. Like, you can't draw flies.
It is one of two options, okay? And I agree. It is either A, you're buying, which I think is the most logical answer, or B, your content is so horrible, so boring, that nobody wants to follow it, and it doesn't matter how many subscribers you get. They're just doing it out of pity. Just do it because you're part of the tribe and not because they really want to watch your content. And so it's a lose-lose, ladies and gentlemen. There is no easy way. There is only one way to get viewers and to get subs, and that is to create content that people want to listen to. And cats. Okay, 2 ways then. But, I mean, come on. That's basically the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. Look at these two adorable faces. If the algorithm
picks up a cat on the stream,
basically a boost.
Boost the stream up. So 2 cats in a stream, yeah,
Double
they'll
the
go
boost.
crazy for it.
Well, the funny thing, Beamsy, too, is like the way that they were getting subs, and who knows, maybe other channels are doing this. Wink, wink. But they seem to be structuring them because you can't just get like
20,000 in one month.
1 week. Then it will be obvious. You got to get a little here. You got to get a little here. Make it look like you got a boost.
1,000 here,
people not
500
notice.
there.
Exactly. Reminds me. Have you seen Better Call Saul, James?
Huh?
Have you seen Better Call Saul?
Huh? I don't know what that is. What is it?
Oh, you don't know what Better is? That it's an
Better
inside
Call Saul? No.
Better Call Saul. Yes. Have you seen Breaking Bad?
No.
Really?
I haven't seen any of these
James,
these little cultural
one day,
meme
once
things.
we get enough money that this thing, we are eventually going to watch. Whether we're
Is it a movie?
maybe we'll do
Is it a
Kaibe.
show? Is it?
Are you breaking me? You're breaking my
I'm
bad.
breaking you badly.
Because because I'm just going through Better Call Saul
Is it a movie?
now.
Is it a show?
It's a show.
The movies I can do. Shows it's hard for me to like.
So you.
Keep up
So
with.
Breaking Bad. Okay, now I have to go because the fact that you've convinced me, because for like the first 2 or 3 times you said it, I really did think you were joking, and I couldn't even accept. My brain couldn't accept it. Okay, Breaking Bad is about a chemistry teacher who finds out that he has cancer, and because he can't afford his medical bills, and so I guess this would only be a show that would exist in America. He ends up beginning to cook meth, and he makes some of the best meth ever because he is this like upstuck, very he's the middle school, high school chemistry teacher from hell. And so he's an amazing.
He's a chemist.
He's an amazing chemist, and so it's about his fall into the underground world. It's one of those that the only thing I can compare to you. Have you seen The Sopranos? Even though I haven't, and I should have.
No.
Damn it! Have you seen The Godfather?
Yes.
Okay, it's like The Godfather. It is going into the mobsters. It's going into he creates it. It's going from Walter White to basically his alter ego Heisenberg, basically a supervillain, becoming an underground. And Better Call Saul is a spin-off of that show because James, I don't know if you know this. This is a free tip. Sometimes you need a criminal lawyer, and sometimes you need a criminal lawyer. Get what I mean?
Yes.
And so Better Call Saul is the spinoff of, he was a character in Breaking Bad. He was a comedian. I should know the guy's name, because he's an amazing guy. And he's a lawyer that is basically in the same respect going into trying to be a normal lawyer and then going into the seedy underground. And there's one scene to bring this all full circle where there is Mike. He is an ex-cop. And he's a dirty ex-cop with a heart of gold. He's like, he does the right thing, even though he used to be a dirty cop. He always does the right thing. He's a hard worker. He's very well. Bob Odenkirk. Thank you, I Draw Stuff. Fantastic. Bob Odenkirk. And Mike, he accepts this job for this nerd, kind of like almost very similar to to Walter White, to the Breaking Bad guy, and he's selling pills, and he basically, the first thing that he does after selling all these pills, and he's this little nerdy guy, is he buys like this absolutely giant monster like truck that is like yellow with flaming purple like tips, and basically it's someone says looks like a drug dealer. Looks like a drug dealer's car. This looks like a pimp. And so sometimes I guess is the theme is you can look like you are doing something shady is the theme of the story there. You should all watch Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. And we are asking us anything or saying something funny. We are waiting for creationists probably to come and annoy us, but they never do. They're getting a little bit less frequent.
Waiting a while.
I think we're taking over. I know. Well, I had an impromptu debate you the other day, and
Didn't get anybody.
None of them showed up. Yes, all we had was 2 ex-LGBTQ people that would show up, and they were too busy. They had something stuck in their mouths. We were trying to get it out, but it just kept on spraying every time we tried.
Straight they were.
They were super straight. They were so straight they came back around again. It's amazing how that happens.
They were like Jesse Lee Peterson.
Joy Coy. I now need to. I'm looking. Now I'll give you my explanation of them, or my review of them on the next episode. Let me get that Joy key. I got him. I'll look him up. Joseph Glenn Herbert Sr. I feel like I've seen him before. He's a practitioner of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It just says on his personal. Thank you, Wiki. And thank you, James Wolfe. I'll look him up. So I'm always looking for more comedians. The irony of excellency. I like it. Thank you, Tim. What's up, Doorknob Head? Fizzy fruit. That's Fist Fruits.
Oh.
Ken Hovind shady? What? He's a gravity science teacher. A physics teacher. With his wives.
He conducts many experiments.
Yes, exactly. And they're about to be peer-reviewed by a jury of his peers. That's okay. I saw that. I wasn't going to say anything. But you already... Because I actually am the worst with spelling. If you ever see me, it is almost a blaze of just red underline. I have 2 phases. I just write and then I edit. 2 different sides of my brain. In a second, I'm gonna BRB, but then we'll probably do this for another hour, like James said. Maybe half hour, an hour, depending on how spicy that we get. And then that'll be our love letter, because James says he has to get up early.
I have to get up early too, yeah.
And I have to get up at a decent time. But this has been, oh my. I'm just enjoying that. I was going to say, a $2 super chat from, I'm going to call. Ooh, air. I enjoy it. $2 super chat from the Sinister Porpoise. As a sub, oh, good girl. I've taught as much science as Kent. First of all, that is not true. That is not true at all, Sinister. I know you factually are a substitute teacher, and you could have... I know in your undergraduate classes, you could have like bent over to like your friend who asked for help, and you could have helped them, and you would have done more science than Ken. So we're just gonna put that
I
on the
mean,
table.
you might have done more science than Kent reading the back of a box of Fruit Loops.
Indeed. Yes. Well, I mean, if someone just like has the Flintstones on and you point to it and you're like, isn't that a funny cartoon? You have taught more science.
It's a documentary.
It's a documentary.
Only
But
thing
thank
they
you.
missed, they didn't have Noah in there as part of it. Noah should have done a cameo.
I love the Noah story because it reminds us that the Bible makes no sense. Like, not that we needed a reminder, but the fact that that is how they needed to eat meat. It's not the fall of Adam. It doesn't. The fall doesn't make any sense. But at least you could almost put a 1-and-1 together there. Okay, everyone's getting punished. You've been really naughty. What does rain have to do with eating meat? Oh man, it's been raining so long. I guess I'm gonna have to start eating meat.
Well, God just decided it's a good time to allow them to eat meat.
Right now.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, maybe if you were a deity, you'd understand how much sense it makes.
But thank you so very much. As I now have the hiccups, the sinister purpose. Gosh darn it. And it's a Rubiks by his name. You heartless person. That's right. And his name is Blablorked. The third, I think.
Totally.
Yeah, they don't like fossils. All right, this is as good as the time as any for me to be right back because I have hiccups. Oh, because he pretends that he has fossils, I assume. It was the punchline. Oh. We are sending love. I'll be right back. We are asking us anything or saying something funny. So, James, what is your debate on?
Well, it's a debate on creation versus evolution. Kind of a perennial topic, except we're including creationism. We're not just debating evolution, so it's a much more fair debate. You know, they like to just gang up on evolution, but they don't want any type of burden of proof to talk about creationism. They just want to critique reality and not have to demonstrate anything for themselves. Anyway, yeah. It's going to be Wednesday. I'm sure we'll do an after show right back here afterwards. And then, yeah, that's what we got on the count. We're going to do another show before that. We'll probably look at the person I'm going to debate. They've got another video on their account, on their channel, about creationism, evolution. We already looked at one of them, and it was so great. So, I mean, we got to go back and probably learn even some more this time. So, I'm sorry, pseudonym. This is our kind of this is our show where we just respond to our Patreons and channel members if they have anything they wanna add or want to comment on, and then we can comment on that. Well, Tsunami, I think me and Amy, we were both ex-religious, so she was raised in Judaism. I was raised in Christianity, so yeah, we're both deconverted. Which, yeah, gives us some added insight. Oh, I'm sorry, pseudonym. Yeah, these shows tend to be, they don't tend to be our most, where we attract the most viewers, but it is something we have to do. Well, Beamsy, I'm just gonna say you can grab it. You grab the ass any way you want. You know, I don't think there's a buy the book right way to do it. Well, if anybody knows if there's a right way to do it, that would probably be you. So we'll take guidance from you on that, since it's you know, an article of faith. Well, yeah, Tsunami. You know, that's like so many of these, like these creationists. They come up with these memes and these, like, trying to remember what was the like. Oh, it was praise. He posted a video of Ken Hovind asking, because he figured out, oh, shorts get a lot of stuff. So praise spammed out a bunch of shorts, which it's none of his content. He's just looking at other people's content and taking snippets of it and making shorts for himself. I mean, I guess it works for him, but a clip of Ken Hovind asking Erica if she thinks we're related to a mosquito, and of course we're going to say yes because we are. And then they just think that's so funny. Ha ha ha, that's so funny. You think you're, well, yeah, no. And the thing is, anybody who knows anything about that thinks that that's not funny because that's actually true. And same thing with like the farts affecting the climate. They think it's just the funniest thing in the world that, well, actually it probably is having an effect. It's not the leading cause or the most, you know, it's not the leading cause of it, but it definitely is a factor that plays into the amount of greenhouse gas, methane emissions. Yeah. And so, yeah, it just becomes a meme, something for them to make fun of science about, because it sounds kind of funny talking about animal farts affecting the climate. Ha ha, ha ha ha. Well, again, the people who actually know about the topic would not be laughing because it does have an effect on it. And, you know, the fact is, like, no, there's actually probably nothing we can do about it in terms of all animals are going to produce these gases. So it is what it is. It's just that the increase in consumption of meat, the more animals we have to raise to produce meat, then inevitably you're going to have more of this produced. Kind of inevitable, but whatever. You know, it's funny to think that the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, like, that did a lot of destruction and caused a lot of death. But if that had never happened, would the Earth still be roamed? But we wouldn't even be here, because the Earth would still have been ruled by dinosaurs. So the mammals never would have had the chance to basically take over that new world.
Also, a new movie coming out, 65, which looks really good, in which 65, and this is not a spoiler since it's the premise, 65 million years ago,
the rodents got out of control, Tim. Yeah.
They sent a spaceship to Earth. And so go check out that movie. It has Adam Driver as the main star. It's him versus dinosaurs.
Kylo Ren.
60 Money. That's right, Kylo Ren versus dinosaurs. What is up, Mikey?
Remember the meme, the Kylo Ren cat?
Kylo Ren cat.
Do you remember it?
I don't.
Look it up. Like look it up. It's a cat that looks exactly like Kylo Ren.
And what's up, pseudonym? Kylo Ren cat.
As soon as you see it, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's him."
Oh, I think I did see this. Hold on. Why we have this podcast to deliver the real information to the people.
Yeah, the infamous Kylo Ren cat.
He's a cutie.
He is a cutie.
Both of them. But
you're an Adam Driver fan?
Yeah, he's a good actor. He's handsome.
I have to say, I mean, his acting was not bad for the new. It was maybe perhaps a bright spot for the Star Wars, the new movies.
And I will continue to appeal to George Lucas. Darth Jar Jar, make it happen. What's up, native atheist?
Sometimes it's just better to take old Yeller out behind the barn and put a gun to the back of his head and put him out of his misery. As far as Darth Jar Jar.
Listen.
Come on, George. Let's go.
And I am not a vegetarian. I wish I was a vegetarian. I need to eat more salads, let alone all salads. One day, though. One day at a time. I think it's the morally superior position. The more moral position to be vegan, but I can't because I like bacon.
Since since I'm a moral relativist, I don't think it's objectively wrong to eat meat. I don't think anything's really objectively wrong, but
see, I don't use those terms. That's why
it will de facto become morality. Eventually, it'll become common belief. When we don't need to do it anymore, then people will look at it as morally wrong.
At least for a good amount of creatures. You know, I don't know if there's ever going to be a time where everyone thinks that cockroaches should be protected. I step over them for a reason. I don't think that we should kill them. I think it's going to be a lot easier to get people on board to lab-grown meat once it either doesn't taste too different or people don't have much of a choice, and it's just what the market sends their way. If you've ever fed pig bacon, oh my god. That's cannibalism, right? Aren't you related to a carrot? It's true. What is up, God equals the square root of -1. Yeah, they like taking the reproductive organ of a plant and being like, aren't you the this? You think you're related to a strawberry? Yes, I think very specifically, not the strawberry plant. I just think that I myself am related to a giant strawberry. That's how it works, I think. They also
Maybe an apple.
believe in the. I'm seeing something on saying I'll be vegetarian when fairy tales are true. No, I don't think I'll ever be a vegetarian. Unfortunately, I think I'll die an omnivore. I'm saying what will make other people change once I'm gone. Because I think I'm way too weak. I have the food is one of my I have all sorts of weird friggin' things, but food is one of the weirder things about. I call it a picky eater. A lot. My partner calls it being a bitch. It's healthy for you. Just put it in your mouth. It's not that bad. It's not gonna kill you. And I jokingly call it the affluent disease because it's just being spoiled. Yeah, I need to eat more salads, let alone all salads.
Like humans we evolved as omnivores. We evolved to eat both. We are same as any other omnivore. The tiger isn't doing anything wrong when it eats what it's evolved to eat. You know, it might not be pleasant or fun for the prey item, but it's not doing anything evil. It's not a moral transaction. Just doing what nature compels it to do.
Oh, I love bears too. They're hot. They're hairy. Oftentimes, they're 6'4". You can call them daddy. Oh, did you mean the bears in nature? Those two. Right. What are we talking about?
It's bear night.
It's bear night. It's gonna be backloaded for shout outs tonight instead of where we do it at the beginning. It's gonna be we do it towards the end. But this is our love letter to all of us. To them.
Reminds me of Aaron Ra, the video when he was making fun of Creation Ministries video and with the two kids, two teenagers pretending not to understand evolution, and one of them mentions a teddy bear on a bed, and the guy's like, "Let me guess, on the bed was a bear." And then Aaron Ross shows a picture of a real bear, Amy's kind of bear. He's like, "No, the bear was in the brother's room."
Oh, that also another thing I wanted to talk about because they believe in the Pokemon version of evolution. They basically are waiting for one animal to start flashing and then just grow bigger and look completely different, maybe a little bit stronger. It's like, no, that's not how it works. Gets a new name. It went from Blueberry Bear to Blueberry Bear Chia. You're like, no, that's not how it works.
Arguing with creationists a few days ago in the comment section of that video that I told you where they're just reasserting claims from the early 2000s. It's the same shit that's been debunked 100 times over. They're just reasserting it as if it's never been addressed before. Like, oh, we'll just reassert Michael Behe's claims and pretend like they haven't been thoroughly refuted. But I mean, these people, they live in they really think that at the biology departments of these universities, there's a crisis, they're working day and night to try to make to try and rescue evolution from, the garbage heap of history. It's on the cusp of being disproven and tossed out, and
genetic entropy is going to prove it all wrong, James. You don't understand.
And they love to assert things like, oh, well, new information in the genome. Yeah. Mutations are new information. Sexual reproduction creates new information. You are new information. No, that's not. Yes, it is new information. No, it's not new. Yes, you are new information. There has never been a human with your exact genome before. We could go trillions of years before we would expect there to be another one. You are unique. You are new information that has never existed before. In what universe is that not new information?
Pseudonym just said, eating the helpless is immoral. If it were up to evolution, I would eat Amy. I agree. There's actually two gentlemen right down here. And so we have a pantsless apologetics panel. And so Gavin and then Iron, both men with a mission, but with also no pants. And so they're working their way down there. And so
it's a labor of love, though. They are devoted to their craft. They are really dedicated to it. So
exactly. It's like a Kalam down here. It's just nice, smooth, and somehow never mentions God. We are also asking us anything or saying something funny. I see Beamsy. We're showing the Patreon, the super chatters, and the channel members, but I'm just going to read his jokes out because funnies. Let's see if I can find them. He but ice cream. My scream. My friend is a surgeon. Every time he performs a life-saving surgery, someone bursts into tears and shouts, "Thank God!" How Christian is it to take all the credit? Huh? Yeah. That is what they often do, is that they will, when something good happens, well, you give credit to God. When something bad happens, well, God works in mysterious ways.
You absolve God of any involvement. You mentioned that. One thing it makes I get so mad when they do this in these streams. Like anytime anybody brings up, particularly cancer, they always try to just make it seem like, oh, well, it's really their fault. It's something they did that made them get it. Like, oh, or you can avoid cancer. All you have to do is this, and you'll never get it. It's like, no.
James, if you just get all of your free-flowing testosterone.
Just eat like 25 pounds of kale a day and you'll never get cancer. Like, because they do not want to blame God for it, because unless it's the person's fault, say, well, I mean, it's their fault, but they went out in the sun every day and they didn't wear sunscreen, or they smoked, so therefore they get cancer. But a lot of it is just random.
But how about that child that got leukemia?
Well, maybe their great-great-grandparent did something that made God mad, because he says in the Bible that he revisits iniquity to the third or fourth, fifth generation. He says it's absolutely evil and immoral, but again, God doesn't care what we think. He just does what he does.
And he's objectively moral.
They would read that. They would try to come up with a workaround, come up with some type of like, oh, well, God really doesn't mean that he's going to punish you for something your great-great-great-grandparents did. Well, actually, yeah, he does, because he doesn't care.
Yeah, God's kind of a dick, but James, he's playing 4D chess. We're just too stupid to see how stupid it's really not.
It's just like the absurd lengths they go to cover for this guy. Like if somebody had like the cure for cancer and hid it and didn't release it, and what would we think about that person? We would think they were
what's up,
a
Eric?
monster.
Exactly. He's saying it's objectionably moral. They like to say objectively. This objectively moral God gives children cancer.
Well, he's got a plan, and You know, we can't question it. We don't understand why he does what he does, but we just assume by faith that he is good because he says so, and he'll burn us in hell if we disagree. So, yeah.
Well, James, you might have not thought he was good the first time. What about if I ask you, like, one more time? Think you might want to change your mind? You know?
And I usually say you're only about 4 to 5 good questions away from meeting the boss, the mafia boss argument.
Indeed.
Because when you start cutting through the canned answers, the talking points, when you start to cut through all that, you eventually get to the boss. And well, they run out of good answers. They don't have a good explanation.
Listen,
but
you didn't believe in me. I don't know what to tell you. You gotta burn.
I could make it make sense to you, but I don't have to because I don't care.
Also,
believe it anyway or burn.
One of my favorite things as I keep on writing my story is I'm flipping all of the things.
Oh, that's right, Regis.
And so I just have the father, the mother, and the sacralized souls. And then I have, instead of hellfire, I have a preacher that goes, repent before the end or suffer eternal frost in the hereafter.
That's right, Bruce Springsteen.
I just like turning things up. Turning things on its head, but being similar, and I can't help it. That was actually got through almost a chapter today, so I've been very happy. This is knowing an all-powerful deity seems to have all the positive and negative characteristics that humans do. Absolutely, like a guy who names himself Jealous. It must be because we don't understand and not that it's made up. Yeah, the all-powerful, all-knowing, all-benevolent God really needs to drown everybody and then send a sacrifice to himself.
Reminds me of the Brett Keane video we did where he's like these atheists, they're so ridiculous. When God doesn't do anything about evil in the world, they blame God. When God does something about the evil in the world, like with the flood, they say God's a monster. God just can't win with these atheists.
Yeah, I mean, he could. He just seems to not be very good at it. This seems to be like his first attempt at a universe.
Damned if he doesn't. He can't do anything right to these atheists.
I need to get... Oh, no, I found it. Here we go. I got it. God, don't worry. I can help you out.
I mean, God, he just couldn't come up with a better... You know, there's bad people in the world, and he couldn't come up with anything better than a genocide. Just kill them all.
So hard being God, James. You don't even understand.
And it was so effective because, I mean... the world was full of assholes, and he killed everybody. And, you know, today we don't have any assholes in the world today, right? Because God took that action back then to stamp out that evil, and now we don't have to deal with assholes anymore.
And once again, there were a bunch of babies, and I imagine those babies were really evil, like super evil, as you are. And so they had
evil in the crib. But what are we supposed to do? Just let them grow up to be evil, to hate us? That's the apologetic for.
I don't know, James. That sounds a little bit too free willy.
That's what they say when you say, okay, why did the Israelites have to kill the kids too? Well, what are they supposed to do? Just leave the kids alive and wait till they grow up and then want to get revenge on them for like, hey, you killed my whole family. That's pretty, yeah. So no, we couldn't do that.
That's how
so
free will works.
Yeah.
Cat's violin's a lot smaller. Well, I will say he does have a mighty fine collection of whale genitalia, though, that far outnumbers anything that I ever hoped to achieve.
He may actually have a real doctorate degree in whale genitalia.
I do believe so. Hours after hours.
857-page dissertation.
It's all erotica.
He has studied the penises of thousands of whales.
He's got to the bottom of, I don't know what he was looking for, but he's gotten to the bottom of it.
He's taken thousands of pictures of them.
Thousands.
Every part
on his knees, somehow out. In the water. That's right, Eric studied. Eyes open, mouth open, butt open. He has really come far in learning with these magic festival beasts.
Fantasizing about being a whale so he can get rammed by a 15-foot penis.
Also, Ket, if you disagree with us, feel free to make a response video.
On BitChute
or
whatever platform he's on.
I tease.
With his 5 viewers.
What is he on Rumble?
Something like that, yeah.
I don't know what the context is, but BMC says he found the fastest way to sort them out was by taste. It's true. My partner and I agree. That's how we do it too. What are we talking about? Eating meat with or without God is immoral, and tell me why. Pseudonym, are you a vegetarian? I like a good 4 for
Eating
4.
meat is part of nature. I mean, it is what it is.
It's one of those things that we'll be able to debate after religion's gone, because religion is just a single thing. Theism versus atheism is just a single thing. And I guess skepticism versus bullshit. How Kent sorts out his whale. Honestly, you should see his collection.
By taste, yeah. You catalog.
Oh, got it. It took me a second. Oh. Whew. Right. Exactly. You could probably do it blindfolded.
Amy, do you know how much a sperm whale ejaculates?
I'd like to learn, Kent.
We're talking gallons, Amy. Gallons at a time. I bet you would even have a hard time handling that.
I would bet.
It would give you a run for your money.
A single gentleman I could ever think of, and that's Matt Powell. He was his apprentice, but Matt Powell has fled the the compound. That is the correct word of Dinosaur Adventureland. Dinosaur Sumiland.
We're going to be banned from YouTube? I'm out of here.
Oop. Didn't leave when a kid drowned. That was kosher.
Or when a kid got molested.
Or when a kid got molested. I guess that's kosher too. James, they care about kids. That's really the moral of the story. Gotta save the kids. I don't know what they're saving them from.
Listen, the guy is innocent. I'm totally convinced he's innocent. He has just been set up all these, several times. He's been arrested and convicted of it, but
you know what, James?
He's innocent.
Thank God there wasn't a drag queen teaching kids how to read. I'm glad that shit wasn't happening.
Is it the hips of the drag queen go swish, swish, swish?
Swish, swish, swish. I saw,
which is a children's book that they're going nuts about.
It is really the most first world problem. Most of the books that they read are about being fair and kind and empathetic. That is the vast. There are books about being gay and how to deal with that. They're generally made for someone who is a family member or for someone, a parent or a child or something that you're trying to introduce. Most of the kids are like, hey, children, let's... I guess I should be politically incorrect. Hey, children, let's not be dumb. Do. Look, Becky, this has 4 apples. We got rid of 3 apples. Can you please eat the last apple so I don't have to bring anything home today? Like, it's generally those books. And so...
Well, I mean, can you imagine, like, how many kids go to Drag Queen Story Hour in any given week versus how many kids go to Sunday school every week where they get indoctrinated into these stories, which are way more ridiculous than anything you're going to read in any.
And they talk about the 1%. It's literally like a fraction of 1%. It's like a single class in San Francisco that actually have funding from their school system so they can do like basket weaving architecture, and then then all of the 99.9% of the rest of the society has to deal with the K through 12 education system, with the teachers sitting there like, listen, kids, they basically are saying that I have to pay for your iPads, and so you're using my one iPad. Fucking fight over it or some shit. And then they go to school on Sunday school, and get religion. And once again, that's the two comparison. And so they pretend like we want to indoctrinate them when we just want them not to be idiots, to be, once again, as unpolitically correct as possible. And they want to actually indoctrinate kids. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, that's not enough. They want to go back to Jesus being in the public school, prayer in the public school.
Indeed.
They're like, oh, like everything was so much greater when we had Jesus in the public school. And that's what they want.
Yeah, and first of all, we never took prayer out of public school either. You can still pray, because we can't monitor what you're thinking.
Prayer.
Yes.
Nor would we want to.
Yeah, well, I would say the view that animals are below, other animals are below us, are one of the reasons that I dislike the Abrahamic religions. Because not all religions do that. Some religions actually...
Abraham does teach we have dominion over the animals.
Which is not a theological axiom that I appreciate. I always say that if the most Abrahamic people, the way that they look at animals is we are here and we're here. And every time they're like, how dare you compare me to something down here? And it's like, no. Okay? What's supposed to happen is we're up here and you need to look at all other animals up here. You need to bring them back up. Because we're all fucking amazing in different ways. Like, I get it that I sound like a save the whales type of person when I'm saying this, but I feel like this is just something you can learn from having a dog. Like, if you don't have any empathy, like, really, you if you don't think that other animals have thoughts and feelings, and I don't know. Love you, please, baby.
He's coming at your heart, Amy.
Well, I just don't get it. Like, you're saying two different things. I just want to know, are you a vegetarian, and do you believe that other animals are below you? Because that would be interesting, too, that you were a vegetarian and you thought other animals were below you. I don't think that you are, but it's not a hypocrite. You're not pointing out a hypocrisy if you are doing both. In fact, I would say that is a hypocrisy yourself. I know that I should probably just eat plants. That's part of my story. One of my reasons, I keep on talking about it. And we'll be on for another 20, 25 minutes, and then we're going to probably head out. But it's been fun. This has been a great episode. Is that I have two things in my story, my subtext, because I try not to preach to anyone in my story. My story is not about religion. But two little subtexts that I have are that subreddits are that angels are related to humans. There are no supernatural beings, in that they're just humans that have wings, and that there are no demons in the opposite. So an angel is a biological creature, and a corrupted angel is just an angel who's a douchebag, just like a human just like a wingle who's a douchebag. And so to further emphasis, and then I have Diana. Diana are my third species, and I like having Diana because I've noticed that I think if it was just about angels and humans, you would think about this dichotomy so much. Here's an angel, here's a wingless human, because angels are humans in my thing, they're Homo sapiens. But because of my Diana, they are plant. They evolved from a version of like a Venus flytrap to become sentient. It gives this lovely thing to think about, because at that point, would they think that we are cruel for eating plants? But they're conscious, and so they sometimes, I think, have a bias towards humans and stuff like that. But it's interesting. I sometimes throw races and species around, and it's not always that important. Sometimes it's important for certain things to have a good mix, but oftentimes I am almost just flipping a coin for what works and who's this and who's that. I kind of want to read a chapter. I just want to read the latest section. It's really rough. And then we'll do final shout outs. But I want to just do just story hour, just like a half second, because it's a really great chapter. Yes, this is my villain. So I have 3 supernatural villains in the first book. Katsugi, which is he can do fire. Isaac, who is his thing is King Fungus. He can make trees grow out, and he can also assimilate people into fungus. And Darkness, who can spread people into, well, why not I just get to us? I just wrote this. I'm just getting to the end. I'm so happy with this. Okay. Even though rough. Darkness could feel the speed of the launch pack, sending him... Oh, I guess I should give the dark. This is a book, Nation of Angels. Well, you'll find out. Sending him soaring through the air. He could now see the Parliament building in his sight, with the grand lights illuminating the massive architectural building. His pack would turn off, so he could manually flap his wings down to land in the middle of Capitol Square, where people were rushing back, then forth. Air would fill his lungs as he took in the urban open market. Excitement was now running through him as he began to take steps towards the public. Who will join us first? He said, looking around at the people walking past him with the briefcases, communication devices, or both. Suddenly, Darkness could hear a loud voice gathering people in a corner. You are all sinners, the man said, pointing his finger towards the crowd, while a book was held half open in his other. The Father, the Mother, and the sacralized soul judges us all. Darkness would push through the crowd with a smile on his face. Repent before the end or suffer eternal frost in the hereafter. Fear was drifting on some of the faces around him. Others, amusement, but some would simply walk away from the man as he spoke. Demons live among us even now. The preacher's wings began to flap as his voice got louder. For corruption spreads among those who do not accept the one true word. His hand became a fist that would strike at his heart before a voice from nowhere would issue a challenge. And are you corruptible? Darkness said, taking a step forward as his open trench coat with no shirt and pale skin stood in stark contrast to the preacher's nicely worn thread clothing. Of course not, the man said in a matter-of-fact tone. I am one of the God's chosen people. A smile would wash over the preacher as if he was swelling with pride. Aren't you lucky? Darkness would respond with an equal amount of enthusiasm as if egging him on. I no longer sin. He held out his hands, even with the book still in the man's hand. Held out his hand with the book in his... Held out the book. This theological fact is why the gods have chosen me to spread their message. Darkness would lift his hand up into the air, then strain his fingers in a swift motion through his eye, though his eyes would never leave the preacher. For all will bend their knee to the lords and the ladies of the hereafter. He spoke his threat with gusto, but as he was doing so, black, sticky ooze began to spread outwards from the preacher's free hand. None shall escape their judgment. The preacher's voice would trail off as he began to look at his arm in disbelief. What is this? His free hand would use the holy text to smack against the impending growing ooze, but his smacking would only make the substance retreat for moments before his second hand was taking victim, causing the book to fall to the floor. Judgment, Darkness said with glee, as his own hand would move like a targeting reptile, as the preacher's pleas for him to stop would turn to cries for help. No, no, his entire body would fill with black until there was nothing but his neck. Save me! Whether towards the gods or the people looking on in horror, as his body was fully taken over, as the ooze spread over his head, then down his mouth, the figure would let out a terrifying scream before arcing its back backwards. Now, instead of hands, two giant scythes of black goo would form. Reality was beginning to set in among the crowd that was gathering for the preacher's sermon. Who's next? Last faggot, he said, turning around towards the people who were now running in every direction. A Diana male in an expensive business suit would hesitate, walking backwards before he threw his suitcase at the slow-moving angel now stalking him. Darkness would use both hands this time to consume the man into the black, just as he had with the preacher. He would then swivel to take a wingless human female that was running past his direction. One by one, he would collect a half-dozen hosts until he came along a food truck on Main Street. And okay, I probably should have stopped the preacher a paragraph sooner, but there we go. That's where I'm up. And it was just random that it actually was semi on topic that I was talking about a theological person, because most of the story has nothing to do with religion. And yeah, just couldn't help myself.
Couldn't help yourself.
Well, it's interesting because I wanted to start setting up a canon that they have a religion. They give all these people, why we worship angels and things like that. And yes, Darkness is not a demon, though. He was birthed from men and women. He is a genetic mutation, and la da da da. But yes, with that, oh, thank you so very much, Atheist. A big $20 super chat from Atheist going, hells yeah, Amy. Thank you so very much. Woo. This is honestly, I have been enjoying this so much. I'm writing it. It needs to be edited down a lot. I have a lot of redundant lettering, a lot of words, but I'm writing it in present tense, which I love. It keeps it fast, which I want it to feel like everything is happening as it's happening. And so almost
live.
like you're taking part of it live. Exactly.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. And I have all this stuff. That was actually one of the more supernatural scenes. It has a lot of sci-fi. But like I said, just at the very end, he was just taking people left and right. Though I think it's just fun to take the preacher. I just chose that guy at random. Not even because I have a thing with preachers, but because I wanted to start putting into the canon what they believe is a religious system. Because some people were interested in it. Some people weren't. Some people, were walking away. And I also like after a while, the first few characters, it's crazy that, she has the people are flying, people have wings. But after a while, it doesn't matter. It's just Angel walks, the guy, the Diana, he's just throwing a suitcase and stuff. And so, yeah, I hope you enjoy, like I said, Story Hour. It's tracking to have, I'm going to keep on keeping that up there. And then we're going to show, I see Doorknob had two. If I am on chapter 4, almost done chapter 5, almost going to be on chapter 5, and it's at 50 pages, I know I'm at least going to cross my 100. And so it'll feel to me, I think it's going to be a real...
When you cross the 100 mark?
Well, it's hard to... You don't want to have filler. And so I have almost no filler from my plot. I'm not adding in anything. I'm keeping the dialogue. No one monologues because of how I trained in script writing, for better or for worse. It's like you do an action, you say something. You do an action, you say something. And that when you say something, it better reveal something about the character. And not only that, but the person receiving it, them receiving it should show you something about it. So, like, I'll give you an example of exposition done well. You could say, like, Captain, we're coming up against the island's magnetic sphere. I don't have to listen to all of your scientific mumbo-jumbo, Lieutenant. You have already convinced people. You've already given the audience what they need to know. And so if they just accepted it, if you just had the captain go, okay, thank you, it would have been boring. But like that one second of him going kind of shut the fuck up, or like being a little bit sassy about it, it says something about him, and then it makes you even forget you are getting exposition. And so I love that. That is like a craft to me, because that's what a lot of comedy is and horror is and all this. And kind of weirdly enough, comedy and horror have a weird link. I'll give you a fantastic Jordan Peele quote. The difference between comedy and horror is the soundtrack. And so, a ever-loving guide. But thank you so much, Atheist. And then, whoa, what's that, Math Pig? And we are sending so much love, 666, to Doorknob Head. Sending love in with the super chat. Sending in a 666 donation in Pseudonym's name. That is so nice of you, Doorknob Head.
Thank you, Pseudonym, too, I guess.
Bahamut always appreciates when you are doing the Lord Satan's work. And he's
How could you disagree with that?
I know. With that face, how could you? Oh, but thank you so much, Doorknob Head, for the support. And thank you so very much, Pseudonym. It was so lovely of you to donate to us and to keep on supporting the channel. It really helps us and makes us get to make even more fun. Honestly, can I just say, and we're about to bring up an even bigger one, I feel like I really appreciate this entire community. We have been going in a fantastic projection. I just sit there sometimes and stare at the analytics, and I feel like we've been starting to find a good rhythm. I feel like we've been getting our lives, and now with these clips, shorts, premieres, and our new live shows that we've been doing, and more debates coming. I don't know. It's been really great. We've been going in a good direction. We've been having
onwards and upwards to the top.
Exactly. We just couldn't have done it without you guys. Oh my God, it's a freak. Okay, let me get a drink for this. Hey, $2 super chat from the freak.
Thanks to freak.
Shout out to Joe Biden's nurse and the pillow trick.
Shout out to Corn Pop, wherever he's at.
That's right. Oh,
terrorizing the local pools.
James,
throw up, baby.
Can we just get younger? I know that we're going to be older one day, and I know there's many people. I actually have respect for our elders. Okay, comes a lot of wisdom with being old. But holy moly, we can get some new blood in these political spheres, please. It's up to you people out there. I'm banking on you.
Yeah, that could be a whole.
I mean, I'd vote for Bernie Sanders, but Bernie Sanders, I was fairly sure, was there when they. Are you familiar with the wheel, James? And I would.
He's like the same age as Biden, but
all of them. That's what I mean.
Leader,
all of these guys.
A lot
Trump,
more okay with Biden, so yeah.
All of them and Dirt share as much. And now, once again, my parents are older. They had me at a later time, and so once again, yes, indeedy. I'm trying to think. If there's specific, I don't want to. I always give out information. Though there's specific information that there's probably on like one of my, what the hell, the forums. I'm like, hey, put in your whatever. But yes, my parents are older, but not 600 years, not 900 years. That's actually impressive. Oh my goodness. We have a $5 super chat coming in from Pseudonym. Praise to Doorknob Head. Evolutionists are free of immorals until cited in science doesn't enact with consciousness. What? Morals until sight and science doesn't interact with consciousness. Well, first of all, I just want to thank you, Pseudonym ×2. I want to thank you really for supporting the channel and putting up with our shenanigans, because we really do love our theist brothers and sisters here for all the shiz that we throw back and forth. So thank you so very much. And I will say, one of the arguments we get often is you just want to sin, which is a weird concept.
Do we ever?
Like, James, do you just want to sin?
Totally.
But if you don't believe in sinning, we don't want to just sin. I will say it just makes it up to us to do the right thing. It does mean that the law system is the only thing legally going to keep people in bound, are the police, the legal system. But we can always do the right thing. We don't need to look for a survival of the fittest type of mechanism, even though survival of the fittest gets a bad name, gets a bad rap, because survival of the fittest isn't about the biggest bat, that's God. Survival of the fittest is just being able to pass your genes. You could be the most empathetic defensive person and help your pack members survive, and genes go forward and go forward. But yes, sending so much love, student M, really, for all the love and support. We're sending it back. Consciousness, my. I always say, the last thing I'll say about consciousness, I'll even keep it up here, because if I'm going to talk about it, might as well keep on sending you love. It's like just the simple things. I really do think we take it for granted. Like, not to get too, but, you know, just the fact that we can even have control of our hand and have fine motor skills, that we are these walking, talking, breathing, eating, pooping, sometimes mating things. It's actually pretty cool. I like consciousness. Funny enough, not to go like too big on the wheelhouse of my story to bring it back, but Isaac, the fungus guy, the main thrust of my story, of all 3 books, is he wants to get rid of conscious creatures, because he thinks that conscious creatures, whether the fungus is telling him to do this or not is another story, but he thinks that conscious creatures are, he says, you know, get rid of rape. You want to get rid of rape? You want to get rid of murder? Theft, stealing, all the horrible things in the world that we consider bad, just get rid of conscious creatures. You get rid of them. And he'll even point out, he'll be like, all of life will keep on, this isn't the end of the world at all. The world will keep on spinning right around without us. Now, once again, he is a sympathetic, I think, villain. I disagree. And so does my main character. And so do multiple of my main characters. There's a lot of good to consciousness, too. There's a lot of empathetic, kind, fair people out there that are just doing it for the right reasons. No other reason but because it feels good. And another $2 super chat from... that means shot. 3, technically. From Pseudonym. Thanks, love. Love you, Amy and James. I feel free as a bird. I believe I can fly. See me running through copyrighted sky. Yes, I'm sending so much love right back to you, Doorknob Head.
Thanks, Doorknob.
And I will say, I don't think we said it this time, but we do need to like designate a stream or two and get us over the Carrot Top Hill, because we're 2/3 of the way now of a 150, about 100. And so one of these we should designate as that and get there.
Doing it designated any last month. Just take a look, some of it. You know, we'll see how.
I think we should just take some and just get there.
Yeah, we'll see how much it is.
Because we've actually, once again, I just want to be as completely upfront. We have been getting lots of love from you guys.
We had a couple good ones, yeah.
Exactly. And I don't know. I'm going to keep on just bragging that you can't buy subs. You can only buy support. You can only give people good content and interesting dialogue.
Real community. You can't buy a real community.
But thank you so very much, Pseudonym. We really do. We love you right back, and we hope you have your home here at the Skeptic and Ranting community.
Always.
Late 1990s. Yes, technically speaking, Kent Hovind's slides were born in the 1990s. I'm probably so... well, what is up, Peter? Peter. I'm going to be seeing you tomorrow, today. What day is it for you over there? You're in the future.
Yeah, it's already Sunday over there.
Exactly. You can't fly and be on your knees at the same time. Oh, I could try. Is that
a challenge?
I was thinking of the right word to say. Thank you. A challenge?
Don't challenge her.
Oh my. Do a hiccup stream. I wish I could do that. Just drink lots of soda. I drink soda now. I know I'm getting older because I drink soda like people drink beer. Like, I'm like, oh man, I got 2 fucking Sprites. I don't know. Because to me, it dehydrates you. And I already am on a
soda
friggin'
or beer?
No, just soda. And so I can't drink as much soda before bed as I used to. Because I'm already on a dehydration pill from frickin' Spyro, from blocking that out. And so that was soda, and it's just crappy sleep.
All your puberty blockers and everything.
Yes, mandatory at all ages. James, why even talk about age? We should basically have everyone
just
on
a number.
Blockers. It's just a number. We should basically have fetuses on them.
Well, I mean, then you have to, like, we can put them on so much puberty blockers that it'll actually turn them into the same gender they were born as.
That's true. James,
we'll go full
you
circle.
have figured it out. And that's also true. Did you know you can actually take so much estrogen or so much testosterone that your body will start uneven, will generate more of whatever it is. So you can actually. So yes, we need to give people so much testosterone that they start to develop estrogen, and then float. Course correct, James. We're inceptioning it. That's right. Good subs.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like Jesse Lee Peterson with
maybe you can, James. Maybe you can.
The gay porn is actually straight, and straight porn is actually gay.
Did you know that every time that you make a woman orgasm, it's actually gay?
Because she's becoming a man.
She's becoming a man.
Amy, or Jesse, I don't know if you've heard this, but have you heard that some women out there give oral sex to men?
What? Why would you have a woman do a man's job?
I don't know, Jesse. Yeah, some women perform oral sex on men. It may be news to you.
But yes, I will say we've taken so much long that we forgot to do the shout outs, and we're now gonna, like I said, we're gonna backload them instead of front load them.
Outro.
Relax, don't do it when you want to go do it. This is the last few moments as we do our shout outs to get in. Yes, we are going to bed. We got to get Jesse P. Leaderson comes in. Women can't do oral sex. Only men can do that.
Only men can do that. Yeah. Thanks, Jesse.
It has to be a shirtless man in what the hell is it? A construction hat? Very specifically.
Or a cop.
Or a cop.
With
yes.
The sleeves cut off of the shirt.
There, yes, exactly. Yeah. It's how you know they're heterosexual.
Totally. Super straight.
Super straight. So straight to come back around. But yes, we have been asking us anything or say something funny. It has been definitely February. February. And
we identify it as still February.
We identify as February. Exactly. And so in the fact this is their last chance. If you are a channel member, if you are a Patreon, or if you send in super chats, we will show your comment on screen. We're going to keep on saying hi and talking to you. And if you're a creationist, we're going to probably give you some bants. But we are also sending love to davegar.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you so very much, davegar. Reminding
the Earth is still
us.
Round.
Yes, the Earth is indeed still round. And we still have theories that actually work. They don't like that word. However, I don't know what to tell you.
And someone's inability or obstinate refusal to understand a robust and well-established scientific theory is not a threat to the theory.
Yes, it is a threat to creationism. Almost nothing else. Like, it is very directly just a threat to that brand of religion. Oh, science. Getting in the way. But also sending love to Senator Cato.
Thank you, Cato.
Thank you so much, Senator Cato. Sending love as we separate the separation of church and
Jesus
state.
Back in the classroom.
Yeah, Jesus never was and never will be in the classroom unless they pull a handmaiden's tale, which I'm sure they think about every other day on their knees.
Well, no native atheist. I don't have my own content. Maybe one of these years when we get big enough so that we can do this full time. Maybe that.
I was gonna say, if there is ever a time that we are full time, I could meet Gizmo and I could sit here. But you are going to be seeing a lot more of James W. Let me tell you, because we have found our new. Well, I mean, basically, we're discovering what every other YouTube channel has known for a long time now. But we found that we're going to be taking our intros and maybe some hot takes if there's some hot. Exactly, show on the road. Some of our monologues, but also if there's some spicy back and forth. Once we get up to Call Me Skeptical, which is actually a while from now, we'll be able to re-release individual calls. But you're going to be seeing much more of his content because I've realized that it's been hard to. The idea, what gave me the idea is a lot of these are 2, 3, sometimes 8-hour streams, and our opening monologues are only 2-3 minutes. Sometimes
get lost in it.
They get lost. And they're fun. They're kind of the reason why we start. Half the reason. The other half was community. We thought that I think that the give the skeptic a
not
place
on YouTube
to rant. But
either.
Is James going to be naked on your show? Oh my! Somehow that's an even later late night stream. But yes, sending love to Senator Cato. Sending love.
Meth cook.
That's right. I miss
cook.
Jess. Yes, she was a trip. She was a lot of fun. I hope she's doing well. Oh, that's true. And she was into computer science. I hope she was able to get into the field. Sending love to Rachel Holen.
Rachel.
Boom, boom. The one, the only, the amazing, the fabulous. Reminding us that the only good slavery is someone that's chained to your bed with pink fuzzy cuffs and you kind of throwing roses over them, but not like the taking from the nations around you and burning the village down.
Good to see you,
Rachel! Yay! Boom, boom, boom.
It's like, Amy, I'm right over here.
I'm right here, and we're both right queer.
Totally. I don't know association of what.
James is guilty by association. Dun, dun, dun. James, if you're guilty by association, then I'm guilty by association of you. This is going downhill
really
fast.
Good ideas up there, Doorknob Head. Really good content ideas. That,
Cooking with coconut. Hey, let me tell you. You say that, but
Doorknob Head, he's got a world of great ideas.
World of ideas. Putting googly eyes around. That's my head. I will say, Googly Eyes just reminds me of I can't even say the title. It just won like 18 billion accolades, though. I just loved it. It was a great movie. Everything, everywhere at once. Everything always at once. You're going to hear me type with my long acrylic nails.
They're used to it.
Everything, everywhere, all at once. Amazing movie. Go check it out. My God is OP. It happens. It happens. Oh, yeah? Well, then have him fight me in Dota. No, I'm just kidding. Or am I kidding? Sending love to Rachel Holen. Sending love to the one and only James Wolfe. As we have with the mood. Ooh. This is like a decently timed podcast. We were supposed to go at 8, but then it got Amy timed. It's hard because there's people. I don't want to mess up people's times. I feel like our community bleeds into other communities, and I like that. I think we help feed into each other. You should be checking out Modern Day Debate. You should be checking out Gur streams. Gur Mania.
Excellent.
Though he does stream.
He does. Yeah.
Sending love to James Wolfe as we howl at the moon. James helps. He sends so much love to us. We send so much love to him. Thank love to Dale Pastel. Dale gives and looks for a little bit of empirical evidence. He gives us love, and we're just looking for empirical evidence. If you could just give us a little.
You don't find much, though.
And it would actually be, and we say a little, and empirical. It's those two very specific, because if you had a lot of eyewitness testimony, that's not actually that great. I mean, okay, you were working with something, but a little bit of verifiable evidence actually goes a long way.
Sincerely yours, fire is fun. Yeah, I'm just thinking of like Beavis.
Fire.
Fire.
I need to watch the new movie. I used to watch Beavis and Butthead a lot, but
it's really good. The new one. I mean, for nostalgia reasons, but it was well done overall. I'd give
Matt
it like
Groening,
an 8
right?
out of 10.
It's the same people who do Simpsons, I think.
It's the original guy who did Beavis and Butthead. Same guy who did Office Space. Mike Judge.
Mike Judge. I'm trying to remember. Am I getting my? Is it Idiocracy? Who else they do? He does King of the Hill, and it is Idiocracy. It is Idiocracy.
Yeah, Idiocracy too. Yeah.
Also, I know once again we are just two schmucks, and this is a long time, but I just want you all to know the type of people you are funding, like the types of movies I want to make one day. It's the Mel Brooks, Monty Python type of stuff. It's us ragging on religion, basically. Just, and being schmucks.
That's definitely part of it. Big part.
Yeah, Peter says, don't want to mess people up. She just wants to make them hard. Look, sometimes I just want to make things a little bit hard. What were we talking about? Sending love to James and Dale and Chris Disciple. Sending love to Chris, reminding us.
God hardened the Pharaoh's heart. Amy hardened something else.
Okay, I got a new apologetic. Speaking of pharaohs and kings and all this shit. And once again, this person I'm talking about, he's actually he's a nice guy. He's an intelligent theist. But, the apologetic was that Islam knew that skyscrapers were going to be real. And he shows me this passage of like, there will be one day tall buildings somewhere. And I think that's actually being very generous. And I'm like, pyramids. And he's like, well, they have another word for pyramids. Who cares? There were buildings. There were structures that were big. This is not a miraculous event for a guy to then go, oh, there's going to be big buildings everywhere.
I mean, that's almost as good as the famous P-Town. Look, the Bible says there's a lot of stars. Look up in the sky. There's a lot of stars. Look at that.
There you go, baby. Yo,
how would they have known that there would be a lot of stars, Amy?
James, is Egypt a country?
It is. And
even till this day,
sky, there's a lot of, like, a fuck ton of stars.
Shit.
Like stars coming out of your ass. There are stars everywhere.
Those, are there? What is Vibes Ghosting? At first, I thought that was a German name, and then I was like, oh no. What's up, Vibes Ghosting? From
Now,
New Zealand.
Where God says that he will make the descendants of Abraham as numerous as the stars. No, they're not hundreds of trillions of those, but, you know, I mean, there's still a lot of stars, right?
A lot.
Like, not Amy, not just a lot, like a lot of stars. Like, so many stars.
So many stars. Some people are saying. Also, studying love, Rejos. I'm going to send out the Twitch link. It is growing slowly but surely. That's right, baby. Head on over to Twitch. And I'm going to see, are we almost at I keep on saying we're almost at 100. We're 2 away. 2 Twitch subscribers away from 100, which I guess are followers. I want you to know, Secular Pagan Mom, that I use that joke like for everything, and I don't know why it makes me funny. I think I get it from my friends when I was like 9 years old. I just use, but that's my dad. Like, people would be like, hey, who's this guy in front of me? What the hell is he doing here? And I'm like, oh, that's my dad. And it makes me laugh every time. It's the stupidest thing.
God is bad Viagra. Yeah.
Indeed. If this lasts for longer than 4 hours, just consult your doctor. And all right, the last 3 of the captains of the girl deck, because they really do give us so much love. And so we really do need to give them much love. The chief captains, that's right. Number 1 being Rejos.
Rejos.
Boom. Rejos reminds us that we are knee-deep in Joshua, or as I call him, Moses without a beard. Because he took over for Moses. Moses was our reigning champion. He has been the only character, yes, in the Bible that I can think of that has lasted this long in like the Hunger Games. So it's nice to have some fresh blood. I don't know how long Joshua will last. I imagine just Joshua.
Fresh fish.
But who knows? Exactly, fresh fish. And so thank you so very much, Rejos, as we get thespian. Because we are going chapter through chapter in the Bible. We don't read just the hits. We are going page by page, which I'm actually really thankful for. You really do see all the bones and the grit. Like, people are just used to getting chicken breasts. But once you, like, if you have to eat the whole chicken, you start to see stuff. Yeah. And sending love. Like, this is not as good as they put it on the mound for. The sermon may be, your sermon on this mound may be good, but like the chicken head and feet, not as tasty. Sending love to, we actually have something in the scientific community. It's theories. Once again, if you use the term, it's just a theory, you may be just an idiot.
Like,
maybe.
Dumb as rocks. Like,
yes. Apparently, we also think we came from rocks, James. That's what atheists say. Haven't you heard atheists say that every other day? We come from rocks?
Amy, are you related to a turkey?
I become a turkey on Thanksgiving. But yes, I mean, they always, whatever
I think
animal
that's
or
such a
organism,
gotcha.
I know, it is such a stupid gotcha. And what pains me the most about, like, when someone, a creationist says, well, do you think you come from an amoeba? There are amoeba of almost every, a wide variety of the categories. On all multicellular life, fungi amoeba, animal amoeba, plant or a cat amoeba, and single cell. Like, lots of amoebas.
Are you related to an earthworm, Amy?
Yes. It's amazing. Amazing.
Are you related to a possum?
Why, yes, I am.
Oh, wait. Are you related to a cassowary?
Yes. Can.
Oh, so I get the feeling any random animal I name, you're just going to keep saying yes.
Yes. That is true. We all of us. Do you think Joshua was like Val Kilmer, trying to fill the shoes of Michael Keaton's Batman? I do. Listen.
Lamenting the loss of Joel Shoemaker.
It's big shoes to fill.
Schumacher.
You have this guy who apparently talked to a burning bush. Kind of cool. And so it's just hard. You have big shoes you got to step into and face the Joker. Yeah.
How big, Amy?
Infinitely sized.
Well, look at Sinister with whipping out the jokes. Any good Ken Hovind videos on YouTube lately, Amy?
Although, like I was saying, Sinister, I hope that Kent, please, if you would like, feel free to do a response video. You know, maybe we'll do a response video. Oh my. Once again, I break the law all the time. Like, I speed. I probably do U-turns where they say don't do U-turns.
Have
You
you
know what
ever
I
ran a
don't
stop
do?
sign? Have you ever ran a red light?
Probably. But you know what I don't do, James? Lie, cheat, or steal.
Go swimming in sewers?
Well, that's not true. We do have a Discord. Ho! Podshot Discord. I'm just kidding. I love you, Discord. And I could have done that with anything.
Molest alligators? There you go.
Oh my goodness. When you think of animal genitalia, though, you are getting closer to Ken Hovind.
Well, there you go.
And last but certainly not least,
Ken Hovind lost his arm trying to molest an alligator.
One of these days, that park is going to be shut down. Kills me that that's like a fucking tax-free.
The IRS will. You know he's got to be doing some illegal shit in there. I'm sure that
Oh my God.
is.
James,
It's
the amount of blow that they are doing probably to keep that place running alone. But yes.
It's like, but then again, he is like such a pain in the ass. It's like, do we really want to go and
religion's got to be the biggest pain in the ass to go down too. They got to fetch at every block.
He is still filing lawsuits about his original case years later. Like, of course they're frivolous and they go nowhere, but just the sheer annoyance factor alone.
Yeah, which is probably Scientology's methodology, which we need to tackle, by the way. Scientology. Very silly.
Pseudo religion, scam, cult. Kind of like everything all worked up together. It's like except their Joseph Smith was in the modern era. No less of a fraud than Joseph Smith, but yeah.
Yes, no less of a fraud but we've had a little bit more time to know, and so you should know. But last, but certainly not least, Scientology's banned in a lot of countries outside of the U.S., which is funny. As a cult, I don't know how they tell the difference between a cult and a religion, but I can't complain because I agree with them. There should all these. Well, I don't want them,
but I don't think it should be banned.
Yeah, except that's what I was gonna say. Except
unless they're declaring it a criminal.
We have too much American freedom in us, James. Of course, that's gonna be. We might as well be wearing cowboy boots when we say this. Last but certainly
it kind of is a criminal organization in a way, but
yes, oh, absolutely.
They just claim religion.
It is a pyramid scheme. Any religion that you need to pay money to stay in, I get that they like come around with the collection plate and try and hawk you, but in Scientology, you need to pay money to move up at any level. And so, no. But we love support and love and amazingness from Secular Pagan Mom sending us a super sticker. Oh my God, I can actually show you what it all is. You just all stay there.
James Wolfe whipping out the Klingon in chat. Look what you did, Secular. God knows what she could be bringing back in.
Very similar to this. Not
the unicorn.
Thank you so very much, Secular Pagan Mom.
Thank you, Secular.
Oh my.
Since when is being a Will Smith or John Travolta fan being a cult?
Oof, yeah. Wish we can get them out.
Is Will Smith a Scientologist? I didn't know.
I do not know. That would not surprise me, though. They target celebrities. They only have 30,000 members, I think. I'm pretty sure they don't have millions of people. They try and make it look like they're big. Yes, most people can't afford it. Unless you decide to sign your life away for 8 trillion or whatever the fuck amount of years that they made up.
And then you get to work for the Sea Org?
Yes, then they will pay for your food
where you
and
basically
stuff.
Live like
as a slave.
A slave, yeah.
But before we go, I think we are about to wrap up.
We are about to wrap up.
I want to send love out there to a new Patreon. Sending love to Roshelle Cunning. Thank you so very much. And added down to the list and the credits and the support and the description and all that. Thank you so very much. Again, the best way to help us that helps cut through everything is patreon.com/Amy Newman. We're trying to get to over 200. And then we'll be hitting a new benchmark because we want to eventually get to a 1,000 where we can start to get financially independent and we can start just doing this full time. And you also, if you are a Patreon or a channel member, depending on the tier, we give you a little bit more extra time on Patreon, but you also get it on a channel membership. You get access to Talk Skeptic to Me, where we will share your expertise or knowledge with, I know Scientology doesn't want the plebes. Isn't it true, though? They're like, you poor people. But if you would like your podcast produced, if you have a show you would like made on the internet, then I can help that come to fruition. Gizmo and I can help produce you, the Jewish Space Lasers.
Yeah, you want a Jewish lizard to make your content, produce your content for you. You can do that now.
Then
There's an app for that.
There is an app for that. It was great. I always love it just had a surreal moment where I was working with my host and then his marketing manager, his social media manager, and I was sitting there as the producer. It felt great to be a behind the scenes leader, which is what a producer is. A lot of times the host is always the host. You have to be the face, and the content creator has to be you and your subject and what you desire. But I just love production. I don't. There's no other way to say it. I love bringing everything together. I love getting the music and the graphics, the people, everything to make it shine and to make people have their best product. And that's my long and hard of that. I definitely met those two words in that combination.
Very
James,
long and very hard.
That's right. Anything else before I think we're about to close it out?
No, I think, well, like I was saying before, we'll be back probably in a couple days. We need to look at the second video from the Ken Hoven parrot before I debate him coming up this Wednesday. So look for that Monday night probably. And if scheduling permits, then we'll be back Wednesday for the debate in the after show. So thanks, guys.
Thank you so very much, James. We'll be looking forward to that. There is no more at Hoven.
Oh, he definitely does produce hairballs going out there.
So if you want your Ken Hoven, unfortunately, this will be the Ken Hoven you have at home. The Wish version of the Ken Hoven, because there is no more. That up-and-coming YouTuber seems to have taken his business elsewhere. I don't know why. But with that, I hope that you all enjoyed this episode of Ask Us Anything or Say Something Funny. Thank you so very much, Second Pagan.
Appreciate the support as always.
9
here. It is 12 o'clock here.
It's midnight, which, in fairness, we normally go live this time. So this is early for us. Exactly. On this episode of Definitely February, where we identified as February. Exactly. It was close enough. Where we had a chance, where you all had a chance to ask us anything or send us in your best one-liners. That was our love letter for our Patreons, our channel members, and of course, all of the super chats that got sent in, along with all of our subscribers and viewers that stuck around with us and had fun.
Good night, Jason.
For a good time that was definitely taking place in February. I do, however, want to... Bodo Boo Boo. Please don't forget... Well, there's multiple ways that you can help us, help you, help blah, 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 blah. I've heard now that, like, when you say don't forget to like and subscribe, it now just goes in and out of people's heads. Like, that very phrase. But, so, what I'd like to say instead...
Help George Soros. Help
George Soros. Is that if you're subscribed, that is YouTube telling... That's you telling YouTube that you're interested in the content. However, if you set that bell icon to all while being subscribed, that tells YouTube that you want to see it on your feed. You want to see premieres. You want to see you want to join their live streams. Exactly. You are a fan, as James says. And so we appreciate that, as well as if you think that there's someone out there, a family, a friend, or someone you're in a debate with, well, then share the stream down below and you can let them check it out. Or, hey, why not leave the chat closes after the live feed's done?
I'm hiding. You can't make me come out of the closet, Amy.
Oh, my.
You want to come to the closet and play with me?
I do. I want to put some water on that sunflower of yours. I hope it can just shine. Yes, after the chat closes, you can still leave a comment. Or you can also leave a super thanks. It's like a super chat. It's leaving us thanks after the video's done. And so we just want to keep on sending you all sorts of love. There's also our fantastic channel members, as well as our Twitch subscribers who are listed below, as well with our evolving badge system. Just we worship time, and so apparently just collects, and you get new badges, as well as our Patreon. One of the best ways to help us support the show is by checking out our Patreon and becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/Amy Newman. By the way, 2 out of 3 and you become Lieutenant of the Girl Deck. But at patreon.com/Amy Newman, I am Amy Newman, and we will see you all on the next episode. Oh, we lost James. No. Okay. I probably could have went longer, but I was just like, oh, I should have done it the whole time. Now I feel bad. Damn it.
What'd you do? What'd you forget to do?
I was screaming gently the entire time you were gone.
Oh.
Just wanted to see how long I can hold my breath. Been practicing, James, practicing. And Amy finished early. That's right. And okay, we will see you all on the next episode. What's up, Loki, for sending love? That's right. Look at the trees. We will see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z. That's right. Hashtag is a myth.